All right, guys, my watch list for Wednesday. CSLT is going back on watch. We did trade this one today. I put this on watch on Friday if you saw the video for a potential swing trade. And worked out pretty nice even for a day trade today. I called it just over this little tight base here for a day trade, 1276 with a 1262 stop, I think, 14 cents risk. I like the volume coming in. I like the fact that this has over 60% of the float is short, at least according to FinViz. And look at this. There it was, and we got this big pop all the way up to almost 14. From 1276 went to 1397 on, what did I say, 14 cents risk. And I still think this is going to see 15 in the next day or two. Doesn't mean it has to, but it certainly makes nice moves at times, as you can see right here. I believe that was like a little bit of a mini short squeeze we caught today. So that's CSLT. JKS is interesting to me. Let's go to 60-minute candles. You might be able to see it a little better. Okay, so it's right here below 30. Okay, you kind of see a little possible breakout above that area. So on the daily, you've got some highs here around 31, then it came down, hit 30, and sideways. Nice volume today. So I'm going to just like it over today's high, really, which would be over 29.90. I think that'll push through 30, maybe come up and revisit 31. We'll see, but I like it. One of the reasons I'm watching it is because CSIQ is super strong, and these two tend to run together, and CSIQ just really on fire. So JKS deserves a look up over 29. Just basically, you could say up over 30 bucks with some volume on Wednesday. ARWR. Again, had this one on watch for today, made a call in it, made a trade in it, but I still like it. It's still kind of a little cup and handle here. And on an intraday basis, I simply called it, I put this in the wrap-up video, but I simply called it at 1480 with, I think, a 1460 stop. And there was a trigger, nice volume coming in. It closed at its highs of the day. And I still think this could just break out nicely up through 16. One of these days. So anyway, it goes back on watch tomorrow, ARWR. Now, here's a few stocks that deserve to be on watch. They're all going with this whole Ferguson, Missouri, police need cameras and ways to not kill people and ways to be monitored, and I get that. And so the Ferguson deal brought that to light. And so you see DGLY has just been on a tear and just went plumb stupid to the upside today, as you can see. So people started looking, well, people have already been playing, but really kind of today when it went crazy, started looking for, sympathy plays. And VII was brought forth in the chat room today. I called this one at 350 with a 335 stop after Ramesh pointed out that it did this volume spike and the other ones were ripping, so we got it at 350 right there, and it went almost to 440. Deserves to be on watch again, though. I think this whole space could have many days in it. Having said that, it's at 537 in after hours, and I think that's where it closed. ISNS, kind of the same deal. It's at 667 is where it closed here, and it went up to almost $9 in after hours. So this space is really, they're just diving in. These are really low float stocks, but you don't want to short them. I'm telling you. I saw on Twitter today, I don't know the guy's name, but some guy lost 25,000 today. I swear I read that. I don't know if it's true, but I read it. Trying to short ISNS, and it just kept going higher and higher on them. Wow, that's a bad day right there. But it just goes to show these shorting these low float stocks that are in a space that everyone's piling into can be extremely dangerous. So you don't want to chase them either. So you just got to wait for proper entries. But ISNS, VII, both deserve to be on watch. Taser's finally getting some momentum in that same space, and nice volume today. I did tell people if Taser closed strong, they could buy a little bit at the close, and I think it might gap tomorrow. And the Taser's at about 1820 in after hours, so that would have worked if anyone did it. I didn't do it, but I wish I would have. But anyway, Taser goes on watch tomorrow. Okay, and then away from that space, MOBI came down to the area between the 8 and the 20 period moving average after this gap up. It's been meandering. I kind of wanted it to hit the 750 area, but it bounced, excuse me, it bounced before that today. And this one, it may, sometimes when you get down between the 8 and the 20 there, and you got that little tail, sometimes that's the bottom of the pullback. So I want to watch MOBI for a potential long tomorrow. That's not a great looking chart like on the cusp of a breakout, though, but I still think it's worth having on a chart. Bob Evans, which is BOBE. I think this just might be ready for a bounce day. I don't love this chart or anything, and it's certainly not a bullish chart, but try to give you some numbers here. It's fallen from 49.45 to 42.70 in about 4 or 5 sessions. A lot of times, when you fall pretty far, okay, and then you take out the most recent low, a lot of times you get a snapback and back up through that. I mean, for me, I wouldn't have shorted down here because it just broke this recent low from mid-April after this kind of a fall. Okay, I would be expecting a bounce. So I'm kind of looking for a bounce in BOBE. It won't be one of my top stocks that I'll be watching tomorrow, but I will have it on a chart and kind of I'll use my peripherals, use the corner of my eyes to watch it. LEJU. That was an attempt at a quote from 40-Year-Old Virgin. Use your peripherals. Anyway, one of my favorite movies. That there's no trade off of that though. LEJU. Again, another one down here between my blue and red moving averages, which is the 8 and the 20. A little bit of a bottoming tail. Had a nice move really from 14 to to about 18 and a half. And now it's down about 5-6 days in a row. So I want to watch LEJU for a bounce. And not really in love with anything else. HPJ, I just wanted to show this one. I've been watching this one, and one of our members called it today a break of its early high, and I just never caught it. But that one's still really strong. It's getting kind of far away from the moving averages, so I don't point that out to say, hey, it's going to give a trade tomorrow. But maybe throw that one on your radar. Keep your eyes on that one. So I'm going to leave the list at that. We'll find other stuff to trade as the market unfolds tomorrow as well. Remember, it's a kind of a post-holiday week and lower volume, so make sure that you really like a setup before you put money to work, and probably also should put less money to work, for the next week or two till we get some volume back in the market. All right, have a good night. We'll talk to you tomorrow.